This is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my part 2 on what if Deku had Blaze the Cat powers part complicated. And I hope you like this video. Azumi Midoriya was going to school. Then she heard her family, and her mom tells her to have a good time at school, and she nods her head and says, "Thanks, Mom, I'll have fun." And she goes to school, and her mom gets worried a bit, but hopes she can make some friends. Azumi was very caring and noble about going to UA, and when she was going to UA, she accidentally bumps into a certain person, and Azumi says, "Ow," and the person says, "Huh? Are you okay? Sorry about that. I really need to look where I go." And Azumi looks at him, and she briefly looks at him, and the boy says, "Are you okay?" And Zumi says, snaps out of it and says, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay." And Zumi says, "Can I say, I didn't expect anybody to cross this road." And the boy says, "Yeah, I lived in the orphanage." And Zumi says, "I didn't know." "It's fine." And the boy says, "I gotta go. Sorry, I got to be at school." And Azumi says, "What? Wait!" And the boy runs. And Azumi sighs and says, "I didn't got your name." And Azumi was getting up and looks at her watch and says, "Crap! Gotta go!" And Zumi runs to school and makes it. And Zumi says, "Whew, that was close. I was almost nearly not going to make it." And Zumi was going to say, improve herself, and she is going to give them a great end. Then, when she opens the door, she hears a boy that's literally louder than her cooks out of that. And Azumi was wondering who's yelling like that. And she looks at the explosion looking jolteon haired boy. And the boy says, What do I have to deal with you? And the boy that was with the glasses was saying, "You're violating school rules! You're putting your feet on the table!" And the boy says, "Huh?" And Ida says, "Well, don't you know about the school regulation?" And the boy says, did your old class had to stick up your ass? Or is it just you?" And Ida says, "Let me rephrase and reintroduce myself. My name is Tenya Ida, and I come from Somei High." And Bakugo says, "Somei, huh? You think you're better than me?" And Ida says, "Never said that." And Bakugo says, "Now, shut up." And Bakugo looks at Zumi and says, "Who's the flare cat?" And Zumi says, "Excuse me?" And Bakugo says, "You heard me, shitty cat. Excuse yourself, and I hope you tolerate those manners." And Zumi getting a little annoyed about that. About Bakugo's taunt. And Bakugo coming closer, walking toward her. "What's the matter, shitty cat? Can't take a taunt?" And says, "You know, I was going to be nice, but for you, I think I'll make an exception." But when she was going to stop at the near second, the same boy that was coming to, that crashed into Zumi, the white-haired, saying, "Ah, crap! Now I'm going to be late because of this," and crashes into Zumi and Bakugo. And Bakugo gets head first and says, "What the hell? Where did this guy come from?" And Silver was in a bit of a pickle because Azumi was he was on top of Zumi, and Silver says, "Jeez, I wasn't expecting to crash into somebody." And then Silver looks at Zumi. "Wait, you're the kid that I crashed into once." And Zumi looks up and sees Silver you're the kid that crashed into me. And Silver and Zumi look at each other. And Bakugo says, "Hey, you two! Can you stop with that shitty romance?" And Silver and Zumi stand back up and says, "Yeah, sorry." And Zumi says, "It's okay." And Zawa was behind them. "So, are you done making so much loud noise?" And Sumi says, thinks, where did he come from? And Azawa says, "Can't go into your assigned seats, all of you." And all the students go into their assigned seats. And Azawa says, 45 minutes. Not good enough. And Zawa explains the that he's the teacher and that they're doing the quirk analyzation. And all the UA students have gone and changed into their gear. Azumi gear of the uniform for is made out of the same fabric she has in her usual. And Zumi was wondering, why are we not doing the form? And Azawa says, okay, we're going to do some quirk practice. And Zawa points to Bakugo. And Zawa says, Bakugo, have you ever used your quirk? How far did you throw without it? 23. And Zawa says, you took first place. And Zumi says, thanks. He took first place? I doubt it. The way he acts. And Bakugo throws it all with his quirk, and he makes 7,854 meters. Impressive. And all the students are excited and says, this is going to be easy, and this is insane, this is going to be fun. And Azawa says, fun, huh? Let's make a bet. If one of you doesn't get last, then you won't get expelled from UA. And Zui, hearing the expelled and hearing what Zawa tells them, that the heroes are doing way riskier things as well. doing everything they can do. And Izumi has taken very good throttle of this. And she takes first place in speed, second in throwing, grip strength, I guess 4, and agility, second. Jumping, she literally used her fire to levitate, and she has been in a good time, and she has taken 7th and 2nd place. And Bakugo says, "How the hell did she cat get in ahead of me?" And Zumi says, "Maybe it's because of your attitude." And Bakugo says, "What? Did you say she cat?" "You heard me. It's because of your bad attitude." And Zumi looked infuriated, and Bakugo says, "I'll show you bad attitude." And then Bakugo comes at Izumi. But then Silver says, "That's enough! Can you two stop it?" And Silver has used psychokinesis, and Bakugo says, "Let me go, you marijuana-looking hair frickin' hedgehog." Jeez, no wonder she's angry with you. Those insults are really hurting. And Silver says to Izumi, "That's not how we be angry with people." And Izumi says, "Sorry, it's just how he says it." And Silver lets go of Bakugo and says, "You better learn your lesson." And Bakugo says, "Whatever." And Zumi didn't ask his name. Sorry for the inconvenience, but may I know their name? And the boy Silver introduced himself. "My name is Silver, and what's your name?" My name is Izumi Midoriya." And Silver says, "Izumi Midoriya." And then he thinks for a few seconds and realizes, "What?" And Izumi puts her hand on his mouth and says, "Shh. Nobody knows that I am a you aced them, except the teachers. And Silver says, sorry, it's just surprising to hear. And Sumi says, this is a secret to you and I. Got it? And Silver smiles and says, sure. Friends? And Sumi, getting a little shy, Silver says, what's the matter? And Sumi says, just not used to friends. And Silver says, it's alright, hard to make friends like this. And they both shake their hands. And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Bless Ultra!